Hello, my name is Amelia, and today I want to share my story of how I trained my brain to think in English. It didn't happen overnight. I used to translate every sentence from my native language before speaking. It was slow, tiring, and frustrating. But one day, I made a decision. I don't want to translate anymore. I want to live in English. That small shift changed everything. Let me tell you how I made my brain think in English every single day without moving to an English-speaking country. When I first decided to train my brain to think in English, I realized something very important. My brain was not the problem. The real problem was what my brain was surrounded by. Let me explain. My world was not in English every day. I spoke my native language. I watched movies in my language. I listened to music in my language. I read news, talked to friends, and even thought all in my native tongue. So how could I expect my brain to start thinking in English? It was like asking a fish to fly. My brain didn't know English deeply because I didn't give it the chance. Then, one day, I read something that changed my life. Your brain becomes what it is surrounded by. That was the moment I made a decision. From now on, I would fill my day with English. But not just once a week. Not just when I had time. Every single day, changing my phone and apps to English. The first thing I did was simple. I changed the language on my phone to English. Suddenly, every time I opened my phone, I was learning. Settings instead of menu, notifications instead of information, battery instead of battery. These small words were now part of my daily life. It felt strange at first. Sometimes I got confused. But after a few days, it became normal, and my brain liked it. It started to expect English. Listening to English like background music. Next, I started listening to English audio all the time. Not just when I was studying. I listened while cleaning the house, cooking food, taking a walk, waiting for the bus. Sometimes it was English podcasts. Sometimes it was audiobooks or YouTube videos. Even if I didn't understand everything, I kept listening. My brain was hearing real English sounds, rhythm, and intonation. Slowly, it became easier. I started to guess what they were saying. Then I started to understand. One day, I caught myself laughing at a joke in English. That moment made me feel proud. It was working. Replacing my entertainment with English. This was hard, but powerful. I used to watch dramas and movies in my native language every night. It helped me relax, but it didn't help me grow. So I told myself, from today, I will only watch in English. At first, it was difficult. I didn't enjoy it as much. I had to use subtitles. Sometimes I didn't understand what was happening, but I kept going. I started with children's shows, simple and fun English vlogs, real-life language Netflix series with subtitles. After some time, I noticed something amazing. I was watching without subtitles and I still understood most of it. English started to become natural. It was no longer foreign. It became part of my life. Reading English every day, even just one page. I was never a big reader, but I knew that reading would help me see English written, the spelling, grammar, and sentence structure. So I made a new rule. 1 page a day. Just 1 page of anything in English. No pressure. Sometimes it was a news article, a short story, a comic or blog post, an English learning book. I didn't understand every word. That's okay. I just tried to understand the main idea. If a word came again and again, I looked it up. My vocabulary started growing, and without flashcards or boring lists, I was learning words in real context. Keeping a journal in English. Of my favorite things I started was a small journal. Every night, before sleeping, I wrote 3 to 5 sentences in English. I wrote about my day. Today I went to the market. I cooked chicken for dinner. I felt tired, but I finished my work. Very simple, but it worked like magic, because I was writing, not translating. I was learning how to express real thoughts in English. My grammar wasn't perfect, but my thinking was becoming English style. I started thinking, did I write that correctly? What's the better way to say this? How do native speakers express this feeling? That's when I realized my brain was becoming curious in English, playing and exploring in English one day. I realized even my games and hobbies could help, so I started playing word games in English. I downloaded English learning apps. I joined English-speaking communities online, like Facebook groups and forums. Even when I watched cooking videos, I chose English ones. Every small activity became an opportunity. My brain stopped waiting for study time. It was learning all the time, while relaxing, playing, or just being curious. What happened after 30 days? At first it felt like nothing changed, but then, slowly, I started thinking in English. Automatically, I didn't need to translate every sentence. I could understand more without effort. I felt more confident and comfortable one morning. I woke up and realized I had dreamed in English. That day, I smiled. Because my brain was no longer learning English. It was living in English. Final thoughts surrounding your brain with English. It is not just a trick, it's a full change of lifestyle. You don't need to study harder. You just need to immerse yourself. Change your phone. Watch English content. Listen to English audio. Read just one page a day. Write in a journal. Play and explore. Even 5 minutes here and there, every day, can make a big difference. You will not see a big change in one day, but in 30 days, you'll feel like a new person. And one day, just like me, you'll say, I don't just learn English anymore. I live in it. In the last part of my story, I told you how I surrounded myself with English every day. But now, I want to share something even more powerful, something that completely changed how I use English and how I think in English. It's the secret that many fluent English speakers use without even realizing it. They talk to themselves in English. Yes, really. And you can do it too, even if you're just a beginner. Let me tell you how I did it, how it helped me, and how it can help you think in English naturally, every single day. Why talking to yourself works at first. It sounded strange. Talk to myself. Like a crazy person. But then I thought, I'm already talking to myself, all the time. We all do. Where did I put my keys? I need to finish this work. I'm so tired today. These are thoughts, but they're also silent conversations. So I asked myself, why not say these things in English instead? From that day, I made a small change. I started turning my daily thoughts into English thoughts. At first, it was slow. I had to search for words. But very soon, it became natural, and my English improved faster than ever before. Morning routine in English. Let me take you through a normal day in my life when I started this habit. I woke up and said in my mind, "Good morning, Amelia. How did you sleep? What time is it? It's 7:15 a.m. I need to brush my teeth and take a shower." Everything was simple, but I said it in English. Sometimes I said it out loud if I was alone. Other times I whispered, or just thought the words in my mind. The important part, I didn't translate. I created the sentence in English directly. It felt strange at first, like learning to walk again. But soon, my thoughts began to flow in English like a small stream turning into a river. Talking during simple tasks as I brushed my teeth. I would think, I need to buy new toothpaste. This toothbrush is old. I should change it soon. My face looks sleepy today. While making breakfast, what should I eat today? Let's make some eggs and toast. Don't forget to drink water. While choosing clothes, should I wear the blue dress or the white one? It's sunny today, maybe something light. These thoughts are small, but they are powerful, because they train your brain to form sentences in English without pressure. On the way to work or school, while walking, or on the bus, I'd look around and describe things in English. That man is talking on the phone. The sky is cloudy today. I forgot my notebook again. If I didn't know a word, I tried to describe it. That thing where you scan your card, what is it called? Oh, maybe scanner or reader. Sometimes I looked up the word later. Sometimes I just guessed. Either way, I was teaching my brain to solve problems in English. That's the goal, not perfection, but progress. Having silent conversations, one of the best things I started doing was having small pretend conversations in English, inside my head. For example, I would imagine, what if I met someone at a cafe? What would I say? So I practiced. Hi, can I sit here? Sure. Go ahead. Thank you. What's your name? Or I imagine being at the airport. Excuse me, where is gate 12? Go straight and turn left. Thanks a lot. These small invisible role plays were like secret practice sessions. I didn't need a partner. I didn't need a teacher. I only needed my brain, talking to the mirror sometimes. I stood in front of the mirror and talked to myself. I looked at my reflection and said, "Hello, my name is Amelia. I'm learning English. Today I feel a little tired, but I'm excited to learn something new. I want to speak clearly and confidently." It was like giving a speech to myself. I didn't worry about mistakes. I just spoke. Over time, my mouth started moving faster. I became more fluent. Because my brain and my tongue were finally working together, describing my day in real time throughout the day. I kept describing what I was doing in English. I'm opening the window. I'm washing the dishes. I'm writing an email. I'm reading a book. Even these small statements helped build confidence. You don't need complex grammar. Just keep speaking, even in your mind. Every sentence is like a drop of water. Soon, you will have a full ocean of English in your brain. Night thoughts in English at night. Before sleeping, I used English again. I asked myself, what did I do today? What made me happy? What will I do tomorrow? Sometimes, I answered, aloud, sometimes in my heart. But every time I did this, I felt my brain relax into English. It became part of my identity, not just a skill. And one night, something magical happened. I had a dream in English. What if you don't know the words? It happens. Many times, I didn't know the word for something I wanted to say. Here's what I did. I tried to describe the thing using simple words. Example, that long stick with a light on top gives street light. I used words I already knew. I searched the word on Google or a dictionary app next time. I remembered it better because I wanted to know it. This is the best way to grow your vocabulary naturally, not from lists, but from real needs and real thoughts. After 30 days of self-talk, after just 30 days of talking to myself in English every day, I noticed amazing changes. My thoughts came faster in English. I didn't stop to translate all the time. I could speak with less hesitation. I became more confident when talking to others. I didn't feel scared when someone asked me a question in English. Why? Because I had already practiced with myself. My brain was no longer afraid. It had experience. The real magic, let me tell you, the real magic of speaking to yourself in English. You are always available. You don't need a partner. You don't need money. You don't need a class or a teacher. You only need a few quiet moments and a curious mind. Every day, every hour, you can practice. At home, on the bus, in the shower, before bed. And the more you do it, the more your brain starts to think in English. Not because you forced it, but because you gave it a reason and a routine. Tips to start talking to yourself in English if you're ready to start. Here's what helped me. Start small. Use simple sentences. Gives I am hungry. It is cold. Where is my book? Talk. During activities, describe what you're doing. Now I'm cutting vegetables. Use the mirror practice like you're talking to a friend. Imagine real-life situations. How would I order food in a restaurant? Don't worry about mistakes, you are learning. Be kind to yourself. Repeat and grow. Say the same thing in new ways. I'm happy. Gives I feel good. Gives this made my day. Final words from Amelia speaking to yourself may feel strange at first, but I promise you, it's one of the strongest tools to make your brain think in English. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Every word you speak, every sentence you form, even silently, it counts. It builds your confidence, your vocabulary, and your fluency. I used to be shy. I used to wait for the perfect moment. Now, I speak freely, because I practiced with the best partner I could find myself. You've heard how I surrounded myself with English and how I started talking to myself in English every day. Now, I want to share the most powerful part of my journey, the part that helped me feel English, not just study it. It's all about emotions. It's about connecting English to your real life, your feelings, your memories, and your dreams. Because when you connect English to your heart, your brain never forgets it. The moment I realized English could be personally still remember the day I watched an emotional English video on YouTube. It was about a mother and daughter who were far away from each other. I didn't understand every single word, but I understood the feelings, the love, the pain, the hope. Tears came to my eyes. Not because it was in English, but because I felt it in English. That moment was the beginning of a new way of learning. I told myself, from now on, I will connect English to my emotions. Talk about your feelings in English every day. I started asking myself, how do I feel today? Am I happy, sad, tired, excited? At first, I only knew basic words like happy, sad, angry, bored, but I wanted to express more, so I searched how to express feelings in English words for emotions. I found new words. Confused, nervous, hopeful, grateful, frustrated. Then, I started using them in sentences. I feel nervous about the interview. I'm grateful for my family. Today I feel peaceful. Soon, I noticed that when I felt a word, I never forgot it. That's the magic of emotional learning. Link English to your daily life. I stopped thinking of English as a school subject. Instead, I made it part of my daily life. When I cooked food, I said, I'm adding salt. This chicken smells delicious. When I talked with my family, even silently in my mind, I thought, my brother is so funny. My mom looks tired today. When I walked outside, the sky is beautiful. There's a gentle breeze. These weren't just practice sentences. They were real thoughts in real life. That made the learning real. It became more than memory. It became experience. Remember moments from your past. In English, one of my favorite activities was this. I started remembering my past, but this time, in English, I sat down and closed my eyes. I thought about my childhood, my best friend day, happy family trip, a moment I felt proud, a time I cried, and then I told the story in English. At first, I used simple words. When I was 10 years old, I went to the beach with my family. I felt very happy. We played in the water and ate ice cream. It felt beautiful. English was no longer a textbook. It became the language of my memories. Later, I started writing those stories in a journal. I wrote about love, fear, joy, anger, all in English. And because those memories were personal, the English words stayed in my mind forever. Imagine your future in English next. I started thinking about my dreams in English. I imagined traveling to England or the US, giving a speech in front of a crowd, teaching someone else how to speak English, meeting a new friend and having a deep conversation. I asked myself, what will I say? How will I feel? I wrote these things down. One day, I want to speak English fluently and help others. I dream of visiting New York and ordering coffee with confidence. Thinking about your future in English gives you purpose. It gives you a reason to keep going, even on hard days. Because now English is not just a language, it's the voice of your dreams. Feel music and stories in English one day. I found a song called You Raise Me Up. I didn't understand all the lyrics at first, but I could feel the message. I read the lyrics and translated them slowly. Then I listened again. And again, it touched my heart. I also started reading short emotional stories in English. Sometimes, I cried. Sometimes, I smiled. And with every story, I learned new words, not just with my brain, but with my heart. I still remember this quote from a story I read. Sometimes, the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. It stayed with me because it spoke to my life. And when something feels true to you, it becomes part of your English forever. Speak English with the people you love. Vi started teaching a little English to my younger sister. I would say, this is an apple. Say it with me, apple, good job. Now say, I eat an apple. She laughed and repeated after me. Even though she was small, she loved learning, and I loved sharing what I was learning. I also began using small English phrases. With my parents, good morning, let's eat together, I love you. These small words carried emotion. They made English feel warm. Like home now. My family even says thank you in English. It brings joy to my heart. Use English when you're alone with your feelings. I was sad or worried. I started expressing those feelings in English. I would write, today I feel a little down. I'm afraid of failing. I want to be strong. It was like therapy, but in English. And the more I used English to describe my real emotions, the more natural it became. Now, when I feel something, English words often come first. I no longer have to think and translate. The words rise on their own from my feelings. That is true fluency. What changed after 30 days of emotional learning? After 30 days of connecting English to my emotions and real life, I noticed deep changes. I remembered words faster because they were linked to memories. I could speak about personal topics, not just general ones. I felt more confident because English felt real, not fake. I started to enjoy learning because it touched my heart. Learning was no longer boring. It was beautiful. English became my friend, my tool, and my voice. Tips to connect English to emotions and real life. If you want to follow my path, try these tips. Describe your feelings every day. Use simple sentences like, I feel tired today. I am excited for tomorrow. Remember your memories in English. Talk or write about your childhood, family, school days. Write your dreams and goals in English. One day I will try to listen to emotional songs and stories. Learn through feelings, not just logic. Speak English with your loved ones. Even just good morning or thank you makes a difference. Use English when you're alone with your thoughts. Be your own support system in English. Final words from Amelia. I used to think English was just a language. Now I know it's a way to feel, to dream, to live. When you connect English to your heart, it becomes unforgettable. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need fancy words. You just need real emotions and honest thoughts. And when you do that, one day you'll say, I don't just speak English, I feel it. And that's when your brain will truly start thinking in English.